Think global, act local in your settlement. The sovereign element, farmers, growers and residents. Clean, lean, green development. The sovereign element.
What is the world's most dangerous trade secret? By J.L. Gallion. Sovereign Element, January 26, 2013. What is the biggest trade secret under the public's noses without their noticing? A trade secret is some type of information that creates a unique process and/or product or service with the intent of use to be of economic value and potential to give leverage over any competing business. I postulate that the world's biggest trade secret is the creation of debt, credit, and so-called money. Central banks around the planet create money out of thin air with no backing, as paper bills called promissory notes, or predominantly simply numbers entered in a computer system. Yet the banks charge interest to governments that then tax the people for it and pass on the interest as profit to the private central banks. Let us look at the fact that in the United States, the Federal Reserve practices fractional reserve banking, and with the say of individuals in appointed positions within certain committees, and they alone, Board of Governors, can alter the rate of reserves that all banks must hold by law in cash or other monetary instruments. Currently, every Federal Reserve member bank across the United States needs only to hold 10% in reserve of all their accounts. This is why if everyone, or a large segment of account holders at any given bank, withdraws their accounts at the same time, you will have what is called a run. A run is when the bank fails to withdraw people's money when they want it, because in reality it doesn't even exist yet, not in their vaults or as promissory notes, except within a virtual world inside of a computer. Before computers, all records of accounts and transactions were on paper. Now let's take this a step further and look at the stock market. Do most investment financial corporations or banks make money on their investments, or do they make money in other ways? For the sake of brevity, the house always wins. Every transaction that is processed on the market has transaction fees attached to it. Thus, whether the market goes up or down is irrelevant to the banks because they make money on volume. The more trades made, the more fees collected, and the investors can win or lose with no consequence to the bank. Did you ever wonder how people can be out of work with factories and shops closing, yet the banks are full of this so-called money? If they can create money at will, then why are they withholding money from the public, from individuals, to live life and pursue their freedom and happiness? What trade secret is so powerful it has created an industry that dictates policy to the government and creates a product and service you can't get food, water, or shelter without? Answer: fractional reserve banking. For the sake of preservation, revision, and ultimately the creation of a self-sustaining way of life, with individuals and small groups in search and seek modes of operation to find and apply fair and open systems right now, we come to a crossroad in a bigger picture. A financial system that leverages for the individual first and the systems of government, business, and society second is in need now to transform the harmful and destructive system that has brought us to this point and remains intact and operational up to the present. If the public knows how the current economic model is hurting the world, then this can be rectified and remedy can take place in an efficient and smooth sequence of phases without crashing the economy in widespread panic, food shortages, or riots. Most individuals need a loan to attend college, get transportation, or buy land or a home. Most individuals who have ideas for the creation of a business enterprise need a loan or an extensive line of credit to buy capital, supplies, to pay workers and rent, and to operate on a level that will generate revenue and profit. The only business or industry that creates such leverage and make astronomical profits are the banks. with the power to create money, or really debt, out of thin air at a ratio of 10 to 1 and then charge interest on it, as well as the ability to print $1 bills or $100 bills for pennies, the banks have a literal monopoly on humanity. All individuals, all businesses, and all governments are borrowing or going in debt to the privately owned and operated banks.
Think global, act local in your settlement. The sovereign element, farmers, growers, and residents. Clean, lean, green development. The sovereign element.